Hello and welcome to Indian Masterminds weekly news show Bureaucracy this week. I am Sachin Girdonia. Puja Khedkar has become a household name. Today we are analyzing her story, how a probationary IAS officer's antics have raised serious questions about the privilege claimed by a section of bureaucrats and the fairness of the Indian civil services. It could be one of the rare occasions when an IAS officer is dismissed from service while in probation, as charges against her are grave. Her shenanigans could well form the syllabus of Labasna from next year on what an officer ought not to do. Puja Khedkar, a young and ambitious woman, had just cracked the prestigious UPSC exam, securing a coveted spot in the Indian Administrative Service or IAS. The IAS is the backbone of Indian bureaucracy meant to serve the people, and officers are expected to uphold the highest standards of integrity and public service. But even before Khedkar officially began her duties in Pune, red flags started popping up. She behaved as if she was going to be the top boss there. Photos emerged online showing her private Audi car adorned with a bright red beacon light, a lal batti, and a Maharashtra government insignia. These symbols are reserved for high ranking officials, and their unauthorized use is a serious offense. It was a bold move for someone who was still in her probation period, and it sparked a wave of criticism and questions about Khedkar's sense of entitlement. But this is not all. Her entitled attitude just opened a can of worms for Puja. Things went from bad to worse when private WhatsApp messages between Khedkar and the Pune collector's office came out. These messages, sent just before she was due to report for duty, showed a relentless barrage of demands from Khedkar. She repeatedly asked for a separate office with attached toilet, a dedicated official car, and other perks typically reserved for senior officers. The messages were peppered with impatience and a sense of entitlement, and they painted a concerning picture of someone who seemed more interested in the trappings of power rather than responsibilities of the job. The collector's office reportedly tried to explain that these requests would be addressed through the proper channels, but Khedkar seemed insistent on immediate gratification. Now things get a little more complex. During the UPSC application process, Khedkar claimed to have visual and mental disabilities. These claims entitled her to special concessions during the notoriously difficult exam. However, when the time came to undergo mandatory medical examinations at AIIMS Delhi to verify her disabilities, Khedkar started missing appointments. She cited various reasons, including a COVID-19 infection, but after multiple missed appointments and a lack of cooperation, questions were raised about the legitimacy of her claims. Here's where it gets interesting. According to news reports, AIIMS officials even attempted to schedule video consultations to accommodate Khedkar's situation, but these attempts were also unsuccessful. The lack of verification and Khedkar's apparent reluctance to cooperate with the medical examination process raised serious doubts about the validity of her disability claims. The Indian government wasn't going to let this controversy slide. In July 2024, the Department of Personnel and Training, or DOPT, constituted a single member committee headed by Manoj Kumar Dwivedi, Additional Secretary. This committee was tasked with a critical mission to investigate the validity of Khedkar's claims about her disabilities, her OBC or other backward class status, which also entitled her to certain benefits during the selection process, and her overall conduct during her brief probation period in Pune. The committee was given a tight deadline of 2 weeks. Now let's take a look at what the committee was tasked with to investigate. So first was validity of the disability claims. The committee needs to determine the legitimacy of Khedkar's claimed disabilities. This likely involves reviewing medical documents submitted during the application process and potentially requesting additional examinations from unbiased medical professionals. Second is scrutiny of OBC status. Another key aspect of the investigation is Khedkar's OBC status. This designation This status grants her certain benefits during the selection process, such as relaxed cutoff score. Here, the committee will likely examine income certificates, property records, and other documents submitted by Khedkar to verify her claim of belonging to OBC non-creamy layer. RTI activist Vijay Kumbha's allegation that Khedkar's father possesses assets worth 40 crore rupees will be central point of inquiry. Khedkar's father also filed this affidavit while he was contesting the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where he mentioned that he has about 40 crores of total assets. So this aspect in this case can disqualify her from claiming OBC status under the non-creamy layer criteria. As if the controversy surrounding her entitlement wasn't enough, another incident added fuel to the fire. An old video went viral showing Puja Khedkar's mother, Manorama Khedkar, involved in a heated confrontation with a group of farmers in Pune's Mulshi Tehsil. In the video, Manorama, accompanied by security guards, is seen engaged in a shouting match with the farmers. She brandishes a pistol and makes threats. The video suggests a potential misuse of power and influence by Khedkar's family. Local reports claim the dispute arose from a land deal gone wrong, with the Khedkar family allegedly encroaching on neighboring farmland. This incident raised serious concerns about the Khedkar family's conduct and their apparent disregard for the law. Let's take a step back. Why is this case such a big deal? The Khedkar controversy exposes a potential vulnerability within the Indian bureaucracy, the possibility of manipulating the system for personal gain. When individuals exploit loopholes or provide false information to gain an unfair advantage, it erodes public trust in the entire civil service system. The IAS is supposed to be a meritocracy, where the brightest and most qualified individuals rise to the top based on their hard work and dedication, not their ability to game the system. Experts are calling for stricter oversight and accountability mechanisms within the civil services. Here are some of the possible areas of reform. So the first is enhanced verification process. Strengthening the verification process for candidate claims, particularly regarding disabilities and socioeconomic backgrounds, is crucial. This could involve stricter scrutiny of medical documents, more rigorous background checks, and even random audits of applications. Second is stricter penalties for fraud. Implementing harsher penalties for those caught misrepresenting information during the application process would deter potential manipulation. This could include expulsion from the IAS, criminal charges, and a lifetime ban on government positions. Third is promoting transparency. Increased transparency in the selection process would rebuild public trust. This could involve making selection criteria more public, publicizing anonymized details of candidates who qualify for special concessions, and allowing for independent oversight of the selection process. The Khedkar case is a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and reform in the Indian bureaucracy. By ensuring a fair and transparent selection process, holding individuals accountable for misconduct, and rebuilding public trust, the IAS can continue to attract the best and brightest minds to serve the nation. So the Puja Khedkar case is a tangled web of alleged privilege, potential corruption, and a system in need of reform. We'll have to wait and see what the investigation reveals, but one thing's for sure, this case has sparked a conversation about how to ensure that the Indian bureaucracy upholds the principles of fairness and accountability. So this was all the news for this week. We will be back next week. Till then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned.